ठीक है। हाँ, म्यूट करें, इस बाहर गाना है।
Good evening and welcome to the valedictory session of the International Conference. Welcome to all the offline and the online participants. I'm Dr. Neeli Verma and let me get this opportunity to read the report for the morning session and the afternoon technical sessions. The conference began at 9:30 a.m. where Professor Dr. Mandeep Kaur Kochar welcomed the Honorable Vice Chancellor of HSMC University, Mumbai, Professor Dr. Hemlata Bhatia, and dignitaries on a note with the lighting of the lamp. The guests and dignitaries released a copy of the book, Enriching Education, Integrating C-Learning. The principal of Bombay Teachers Training College introduced the conference objectives. Dr. Belani sir emphasized on the need of a global perspective in education with the changing times. He focused on the importance of C-learning in India's multicultural setup to provide compassion-driven, ethical decision-making and emotional awakening amongst the learners to innovative pedagogical strategies. Honorable Vice Chancellor of HSMC University, Mumbai, Professor Dr. Nirata Vadla, then shared her valuable thoughts on the need for compassion. The story of the elephant and elephant tamer was presented as a metaphor to educate the children. Innovative pedagogy to ensure that training is done with compassion towards the child, highlighting the vision of His Holiness Dalai Lama, aligning with the essence of sea learning, educating the heart. Ms. Mona Silvay then briefly introduced the already set practices of sea learning program. She congratulated BTTC in pioneering the sea learning course. She shared her progress, stating that last year was a pilot program with the students at BTTC. The need to bring sea learning into the curriculum as a change in challenges and patterns in the school cultures to encourage the student teachers to accommodate sea learning as one of the components into lesson planning. She quoted Dr. Balani, "This conference is just a beginning," and mentioned that it will definitely restructure the education culture. A resource person from Sea Learning USA from Emory University, Mr. Ryder Delaloy, enlightened the audience about cognitively based compassion training, that is CBCT, foremost contributor in sea learning, along with higher education in the university. He discussed the key areas like reflective and constructivist teaching learning approaches, student-centric learning approaches, creating a compassionate classroom, the science of co-regulation as well as adult social emotional learning. He discussed all these extensively in his presentation. We then moved on to the next speaker, Ms. Reshma Piramal, who spoke about sea learning framework in India and the pedagogy related to it. The framework is deeply layered and has 3 dimensions. She explained it using different classroom scenarios. She stressed on how we need to embody these skills by practicing and imparting it. Lastly, she also mentioned about the pedagogical model and briefly touched upon the different sea learning styles. She then moved on to her second topic, assessing the benefits of sea learning as they handle sea learning components at Sea Learning India as the head of Sea Learning India. She started with giving us quantitative data on the well-being of our children and educators in crisis. She highlighted the significance of teachers as emotional and systemic SEL. She also laid out the key indicators of compassion-based education. Mr. Alessandro Barcenas and Fernando Barcenas joined us from Mexico. These are teacher educators in Mexico, and they spoke on the sea learning and teacher training in pre-service spaces in Mexico. Alessandro highlighted the importance of promoting emotional well-being following the negative effects of lockdown. He focused on a long-term sea learning plan, which was implemented by conducting practice groups for professors and encouraging acts of kindness from students. Fernando emphasized teacher trainers with facilitator certification courses and why the training was meaningful. In the next presentation, Ms. Rajneesh and Nishigandha stated about their journey at Akanksha with sea learning curriculum. They provided a limelight on the effect and challenges that come along with sea learning curriculum in adolescents and kindergarten classrooms, mentioning particularly the age of the learner that defines the conduct of the session. The notable components of the adolescent sea learning focus on creating a safer space, peer pressure and validation, choices and decision-making, and also being authentic. Ms. Mona Silvay elaborated upon the topics of sea learning for adult learners and sea learning in the IB curriculum. She mentioned the alignment of the mission for both these programs, identifying the similarities in the curriculum and the emphasis upon international mindedness. Ms. Pooja Rao illuminated the universally accepted elements for positive teacher-student relationship on the basis of critical studying and reviewing several research papers, and came out with these imperative points like empathetic communication, emotional safety, mutual trust, respect, feedback, feeling connected and cared for. Focus was also laid on the skill of mindful listening and skillful communication. Ms. Pooja Singh began with a soothing, grounding session and shared the story of Kshamatale and its mission, well-being of the child. The approach demonstrating engagement advocacy. Ms. Pooja Singh also stated C-learning curriculum that helps and is aiding the development of the learners apart from the academic curriculum. Ms. Dimple Zaveri threw light on Akansha Foundation, an NGO that works in government setups, schools in 26 schools in 3 cities. She initiated stimulating questions like, what value do you hold here? Who's the person who epitomizes that value? For the audience, and laid emphasis on the Akansha Foundation values, that is, be the change, which means practicing and possessing the values you preach or teach. Ms. Dimple concluded on the importance of educating the mind of the students along with their hearts. The morning session ended with hearty saturating lunch, after which the technical sessions began. There were 6 parallel technical sessions with paper presentations in each of these sessions. There were 41 papers that have been presented in the afternoon. And we joined together back here for the valedictory session. For giving us the valedictory address, we have with us our guest, Dr. Bharti Chipar, who's joined us online to Zoom from New Delhi. Let me take this opportunity to introduce you all to Dr. Bharti Chipar. Ma'am teaches political science in University of Delhi for more than 18 years. Ma'am is an award-winning academician, author, socio-political analyst, and an environmentalist. Her areas of expertise include education, Indian thought, gender discourses, international relations, foreign policy, human rights, and environmental studies. Dr. Chibber is working on social, emotional, and ethical learning in Indian traditional education system, socio-emotional learning in New Education Policy 2020, cognitive development of learners, teacher training, and engaging with the global community for holistic development of learners. As an educationist, ma'am has contributed to the academic excellence by drafting courses for various universities. Ma'am is a mentor to scholars, students, professionals both in India and abroad. She's been engaged in capacity building of university and school teachers as a resource person in various FTPs. Ma'am did her BA Honours and MA from Lady Shri Ram College, University of Delhi, and MPhil and PhD from JNU Delhi. She's published books and more than 150 research papers and articles in mainstream journals. She's also invited as a keynote speaker, plenary speaker, academic advisor, member of editorial boards, and is also invited to present papers in various national and international conferences and seminars in India as well as abroad. Being a meritorious scholar, she's worked on various projects, received many fellowships and awards, including Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan International Distinguished Scientist Award, Indo-Pacific Outstanding Political Scientist Award, and Women of the Year Award 2022. She's also worked with various other organizations to create awareness on education, gender, and environmental issues, and has also written and directed plays on women empowerment, education, and climate change, which have been widely appreciated. Ma'am, thank you for the work that you've done in the field of social emotional learning, and we look forward to listening to your inputs towards the National Education Policy 2020 with a reflection on social, emotional, and ethical learning. Over to you, Dr. Bharti ma'am.
Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, very much.
Well, thank you for that generous introduction, Dr. Neelu Verma. At the outset, I would like to thank Bombay Teachers Training College for inviting me to give the valedictory address at the international conference on enriching education, integrating C-learning. I also take this opportunity to congratulate Bombay Teachers Training College, Emory University, and C-Learning India for the outstanding work that they have been doing for promoting C-Learning in India. Because I believe C-Learning is very timely, is very important initiative, and some of the courses have incorporated it at the undergraduate and the postgraduate level, at the school level too, but perhaps much more can be done. And also, I like to congratulate Dr. Balani, principal of Bombay Teachers Training College, and the conference conveners, Dr. Kocher, Dr. Nilu Verma, Dr. Raju, Dr. Pillai, and from C-Learning, Ms. Reshma Piramal, Ms. Neha Bhatia, for organizing this timely conference, which talks about a very, very topical subject. When I say that education or learning process, as we call it, it should aim at making a human life better, then definitely we are talking about emotional, social, and ethical strengthening. We are talking about an individual, we are talking about a family, we are talking about a society, we are talking about a country, and we are talking about global citizens. And us as educators play a very important role in terms of inculcating these values in their lives. As we say, Astoma Sadgamya, Tamsoma Jyotirgamya. That is, lead us from ignorance to truth, lead us from darkness to light. Then it should actually be inculcated in how we enhance the understanding and these values in our students. So when we look at education, it's to develop their personality, develop their skills, values, and enhancement of their attributes. So basically, education's or learning's main aim, it becomes enhancement of human mind and spirit, mind and soul of humanity, which is connected. And we as individuals is one unit. That means all of us are connected through our mind and souls. And as Gandhi said, that man is neither mere intellect, nor body, nor the heart or soul alone. It's always an integrated whole. And a harmonious combination of all these three is the much required for making true education possible. So it has to be inculcated in our students, where we talk about cultivation of heart, refinement of human emotions, impulses, empathy, and all these, they come through C-Learning. And as teachers, we have an essential role in this true education, where we talk about primary goal of education is to develop their character, and education of heart, and not only the head, or education of mind, not only the heart. So it goes together in an integrated and harmonious whole, a whole development, holistic development of our students. Well, this is also important to understand and know that C-Learning requires global cooperation, but C-Learning is something which is not new to us. As Indians, when we take pride in our ancient culture, then we also take pride in our ancient education system. In our ancient education system, C-Learning was very much a part of our learning process, where aims and ideals of ancient learning process was simultaneous and harmonious promotion and development of humans, or children for that matter. Even when we look at Madan Mohan Malviya, who founded the Banaras Hindu University, he was also a firm believer in the holistic development of students and said that the core value of educational activities is character building along with the intellectual development of the students. Again, when we talk about the education system was prevalent in the traditional times or the time immemorial in India, then acquisition of knowledge was not sufficient in itself. It was also about empathy. It was also about responsibility. It is also about values. The whole idea of Sravan, Manan, and Nidhisnana. When we go to the Gurukul system, then Gurukul system of education which existed was based on this holistic system of education. It was not only about reading books and giving exams by learning certain facts and figures. It was about correlating it with nature and with life so that our students, our children, they develop as holistic individuals and better students, play better role in life, in community, in society, and in country. They have self-esteem and self-confidence through preservation and enrichment of their culture, their character, personality development, and further contribute to noble idea. Many of them may be future educators, further developing learning and teaching process in future students. I believe there was a reference to His Holiness Dalai Lama during one of the earlier lectures. Well, even he, while talking about learning, mentioned that in India, there was brilliant, highly educated system based on ahimsa, karuna, dayabhav, non-violence, compassion, which were prevalent in India for thousands of years, which brings inner peace, inner strength, less anxiety, creating physical and verbal behavior in our students where they're responsible, they develop at their own pace, and they develop according to their own needs. At the same time, equally have compassion for themselves with equal compassion for their batchmates, for other people in society. And presently, we require an amalgamation of modern education system with these good qualities of our traditional system, which have been prevalent for a very long time, believing in character development, in development of civic responsibilities, social values, personality development. Even when we talk about educating the head, heart, and hand, then there have been many scholars in the Western countries, including the US, who have spent time in India and have said that how social, emotional, and ethical thinking with practical skills, that is the hand, head, and heart, they have been prevalent for time immemorial in India. So for holistic education, we need an inculcation of traditional system with modern system. As we all know, even Swami Vivekananda, he spoke that how education creates character, which is formed by strength of mind, as well as intellect, as well as strength, where one can stand on own feet with empathy, compassion, self-esteem, and create and have the same with others. So when we talk about innovative schools or the good work that has been done in learning in present times, then we also talk about meditation, we talk about being with nature and arts, we talk about philosophical inquiry, we talk about yoga, we talk about value education, which was also part of Panchtantra in India for a very, very long time. While having an amalgamation of these in contemporary times, the whole pedagogy, it will mean enhancing students' socio-emotional learning through competent teachers, because teacher training is a very, very important part, because ultimately they are the support, they are the backbone of the education system, which involves teachers trained in order to create self-aware, socially cognizant, able to make responsible decisions, competent in self-management, and have relationship with management skills so that they contribute to academic and holistic success of their students. So when we talk about mindfulness or when we talk about compassion, training for educators, it becomes very important in terms of scientific results, because it reduces stress and burnout, improve their well-being, and in turn, this will help them in conducting themselves and holistic development of their own students in the classroom. At present time, when we are implementing new education policy 2020, which also talks about promoting lifelong learning, we as educators are also learners. And when we talk about sustainable development goals, whether we're talking about ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education in all, then we are also talking about building it on Indian traditions and value system, collaborating internationally with equally and important innovative pedagogy, whether it's C-learning or we are talking about social emotional learning. Also, the new education policy talks about courage and resilience, scientific temper, creative imagination, which needs to be developed in our students. Towards the end, I would like to highlight that when we talk about teacher training, then it's very important that we talk about teaching our students to recognize and reclaim emotions and relationships. Ultimately, as part of the whole idea of socio-economic learning, we are talking about to understand one's own emotions. We are talking about maintaining healthy relationships. We are talking about being socially responsible citizens, taking academic skills, social, emotional decisions. We are talking about what is formal and informal and how it has to be manifested through our actions and feelings. Here, I would also like to stress that we teachers, we should or we are taking time in addition to our regular classes as mentors, as counselors, because mental health, as we have seen, especially in the pandemic and the post-pandemic period, is of critical importance. So we need to analyze ourselves and to help our students so that we can connect with the inner fears and the feelings of our students and navigate them in the right direction with more empathy and develop them as better citizens of the country. Here, I would also like to stress that parenting is equally important because ultimately the peer pressure or the parents' expectations also create a lot of stress for our young students. So involving them in the C process or the C learning process is very, very critical. Also, I would say that current educational system where we are talking about the whole idea or the whole development of present generation of students, then at the same time, we are also talking about how to have more value-added courses. For example, in our own university, we have, as part of new education policy, we have value-added courses like the art of being happy or the values in Indian traditional system. Here, teachers have a very, very powerful role to play, and the behavioral economics play a long role in this. We need to inculcate these values in our students, and at their own pace, let them take the call, let them take the decisions. We are the guiders, we are the motivators. We are, as teachers, creating a societal awareness, compassion, and creating an environment for them where they can play a very important role. As the saying goes, Swadesh Pujate Raja, Vidwan Sarvatra Pujate. A king is respected in his or her own country, but an intellect, an educator, a teacher is respected, honored throughout the world. So in C learning, in development of our students emotionally, socially, and ethically, a teacher plays a very important role. And we as teachers have this responsibility to fulfill. Thank you. I'll stop with that. And of course, I congratulate the organizers once again for this excellent and very topical subject that they have chosen. And we should take this initiative further to the wider corners of the country and of course, with further international collaboration.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am, for that lovely address. That actually summed it up. Since morning, we have been deliberating upon introducing C curriculum, C learning components in the school curriculum. And now, with the efforts that you've taken, we can make out that yes, C learning components have a long way even to be introduced in the college curriculum. Thank you so much for that. Let me now invite our guest here in this hall, Dr. Rennie Francis, the principal of Pillai College of Education, to please give her impressions about this session.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here. And all the more the pleasure is double because I'm coming to BTTC after a very, very long time. I came here as a student when I was doing my B.Ed at Pillai. I came here as a student because they have a very wonderful program that they have where they have the entire week-long program. And I had come then. Then I came after a long time to present a paper, and today I'm here back again. So I feel very honored and privileged. And let me congratulate BTTC and the strong shoulders that the entire institution is standing up to is the success of the hybrid mode of a conference. It's not very easy to have a hybrid mode. It's easy to run a offline. Before COVID, it was very easy. Online during COVID, it was easy. But to manage your crowd at both the places is not very easy. And they have really taken all the efforts to see that each of the participants at each of the corner of the world, wherever they were, they have been adequately taken care of, given ample time, given that opportunity to present, to share their views, and also be a very valued participant throughout. So I really congratulate. I do understand there's a lot of efforts that takes through this, but congratulations to Dr. Balani sir, Mandeep ma'am, Priya ma'am, and all the organizers together who have put a wonderful program today. I was here in the morning. I was on the YouTube in the morning, and what I shared in the presentation down where I was sharing the session is one particular aspect that really takes me forward with my thought for today is the Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Bagla speaking about the elephant and the iron rod that is, or the rope, or the string, the chain that is tied to the legs of a tiny little elephant, a newborn elephant, and how it just moves on, thinking that, and the elephant goes with the thought that, yes, it is still there, and it walks or moves ahead in that pace. To a large extent of our lifeline of our teaching learning spaces, we have thought that our the whole scenario of learning was just into the four walls of a classroom, and it was bounded with a lot of restrictions of content, completion, a lot of restrictions to the academic forefront. But over the years that we have seen is one particular aspect that keeps tingling inside is the need to be to have a feeling towards something. It could be a feeling towards your education, it could be a feeling towards a person, it could be a feeling towards an object or anything. The feeling aspect was something that was a little subdued over the years. But now we have understood that feelings really matter. And with SEE, that particular aspect has become the need of the hour. We all have lost for that particular period of COVID-19, we lost the social bondage that we had, and we were all indoors, and we felt that and not imagine to go back to that life again. When we are out of that, we feel yes, we have all come back together, and the thirst for social bonding has just made us all and all driven to do things that makes us feel happy. So if you are doing something that makes you feel happy and in an environment with people having the same kind of a feeling, so your social, your emotional aspect is done. At that same time, you have to also remember the ethical aspect, because today we should not be emotionally driven in such a manner that we cause a harm to the other person. And in our community today, when we go to the classrooms, we have been hearing several news articles where children of a very young age, adolescents, trying to harm their peer for any number of reasons that really does not mean is they have not thought about it at a point of time. So as we are the brand ambassadors taking this for taking this forward for SEE learning, I think that's a very pertinent topic that we are raising. And today I'm sure I can't even number the people who have been impacted today, because the listeners, the participants, plus it's going to be multiplying in your YouTube channel, because people are going to propagate and say that go back to the VTTC YouTube and hear, because it's wonderful to keep learning. So very, very, very vital topic for us. And the paper presentations that I had the privilege to chair were all very good, different, taking up various aspects of SEE and getting into the aspect of teacher education and in-service teachers, pre-service teachers, taking it forward. I think that is also the need of the hour for us as teacher education colleges, and when we are speaking about making a difference in the community that we are talking about. And so overall, I feel very blessed to be here today, and I'm glad that I've been given this opportunity to be here. Many more conferences like this. I think many of the others will take this as an example to do a hybrid conference, because that really solves a lot of challenges of people coming through and meeting up together. But yes, the fervor of conference was not at all compromised at any point during the entire day. So I feel it's been a wonderful journey for you all, and I'm glad that I'm here, and congratulations and well done to each one of you. Thank you, ma'am, for appreciating the efforts that we've taken. It was a tough call. It was a very, very difficult decision to make initially. And we also thought of going back only to online or only offline. But then, yes, with the support that we received from, of course, the university and always with us, our principal, Dr. Balani sir. So we could take that call and we could manage it the way we can. We also have amidst us today, Dr. Manjula Bhandari, who's from Chembur Sarvankar Shikshan Shastra Mahavidyalaya. Ma'am, I would request you to also share with us your experiences today and your impressions about the conference.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the captain of the ship, Dr. Balani sir, and taking the charge of this hybrid mode. Really, sir, it's a it's like taking decision itself is a big thing. Taking first step. Hybrid mode means hybrid mode. Once it's done, and the example I have come all the way from Navi Mumbai, because somebody has to come to give justice to hybrid mode also. So we are here as physical presenters. So one more from Narsimunji was there, right? She's not here. So rest all are online through online mode. So congratulations. And the entire team, the tireless effort, the entire team, so nicely arranged, and all the students' involvement that I liked a lot. It's my honor and privilege to speak and give my impression. So basically, the most important aspect of C learning is, we say that full form of C learning is, social, emotional, and ethical learning, right? In that, one of the presenters, in fact, the one who were there, I don't remember the name, sir. C learning and IB curriculum, madam was talking about. Yeah. So, and one more presenter talked about the skills, the core skills of C learning, out of which I have taken the conflict resolution, whereby I applied the program on PYP learner of Podar International Worldly School, and actually, by taking few steps, the kind of conflict manager they becomes, and the kind of impression I got in the form of pictorial presentation was excellent. So I think like this is the Pioneer Institute, which is doing a wonderful job, and I again congratulate you, sir, because earlier I heard that this will be a weekly program in B.Ed curriculum, incorporated in B.Ed curriculum itself. In St. Teresa, they're having it as add-on course, right? So I hope that we are also able to incorporate this as a part of B.Ed curriculum. It will work wonders, because it's the basic crux of human life that is missing. We are just studying the conceptual based learning, and conceptual based learning only. And later on, when we realize, there was a speaker from this Children Mission, they are working, a lot of work has been done at their end, and they conduct sessions also. So the speaker, I will just quote the story that was told to us, was a girl who was IIT. All of you know that, only creams stuff is being taken into IITs. So that girl was excellent, and she went into this love marriage thing, and within a 1 week's time, she committed suicide. At one end, she's the highest level. She has reached the highest level of cognitive, IIT. And on emotional level, on the spur of moment, she's committing suicide. So where is that balance? Really? And if we are incorporating the same thing right from primary level, as I discussed in my paper, like PYP is the level at international, which is catering to the students from grade 3 to 12. So if it is infused from the childhood, definitely these students will only lead their life with compassion, taking responsibility. And one thing, sir, I liked about the international curriculum is the whole thing is taking responsibility. If something is going wrong, I have to take responsibility that I am to be blamed, not others. If you take responsibility, you come up with nice solution also. Already pointing fingers at others will become habit. And again, you will go into depression, nothing more than that. And there will be one point active in your life itself when you will start enjoying that depression only. And then the next condition is suicide. You start enjoying negative emotions, depression, it goes hand in hand. So we have to keep a hold somewhere. So I think the primary level is the best, and definitely we are, you people, younger generation, especially the ones who are taking this teacher training course, you have to shoulder this responsibility. Seriously, if you get into it, because you are getting, with the efforts of Dr. Balani sir, you are being infused with this concept of C learning. Although we have been practicing it for long with different names. It's not like a new concept. We are practicing it, but it is coming to the picture of C learning. So globally, it is being accepted. So if you are fortunate enough to do the B.Ed course, and since it is infused, please take responsibility, and wherever you go, please deliver it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for that appeal made to our students. I'm sure few of them would have taken a lot of inputs from today's conference and would definitely incorporate it in their teaching, internship, and of course during their career. We have many present online. I would just make an appeal to you all also, in case there's anybody who would want to share their experiences online. you can unmute and say something. We'll be able to hear you. 1 minute feedback. If you can put your cameras on, of course, we can take a quick screenshot as we used to do in our online conferences. That will also be something very good for us. Thank you. We can see you. Dr. Vithuva, Mandrika. Is there anybody who would want to unmute and say something about us today?
Hello, Dr. Savita Sable. Yes, you may. I'll take over later.
No, ma'am, you go ahead, please.
This is Dr. Savita Sable, Principal, MCT's College of Education and Research. The initiative taken, the theme, I really appreciate the theme, which is the need of the hour. And with this dynamic change in the current education scenario, social emotional learning and C also, social, ethical, emotional, all these aspects matters a lot in this dynamic society, in the education scenario. And though during pandemic or post-pandemic, many schools, many colleges were proactive into introducing these, understanding the necessity of social emotional learning components or to be incorporated in the school or the college setup, and they had really succeeded and were able to fill in those gaps which were created, those learning gaps which were created during the pandemic. So it is now become a really need of the hour, and I congratulate Dr. Balani and the team, organizing team, for taking up such need of the theme, and it was really very enriching and fruitful. Thank you. And I was little whether I wanted from the core of my heart to attend this, in spite of so many other my commitments, but I made it online. So this is really appreciable that you have organized this conference in a hybrid mode, which actually and successfully, rather no technical problems, no technical any hindrances happened, and we could actually virtually, but our thoughts and spirits were really there physically. So thank you once again, and it was really a very well organized conference.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for those reflections. We really feel grateful that our efforts have been recognized, our efforts have been seen, and all thanks to our students also to be behind us all the time for whatever we've managed to achieve today. Our student support has been immense. Is there anybody else who would want to say something about the conference today?
May I, ma'am? Hello.
Yes, you are audible. You can please go ahead.
Right, ma'am. Thank you. A very good evening to all. First of all, I would like to congratulate the esteemed patrons of the conference, Dr. Niranjan Hira Nandani, Provost HSNC Mumbai, Professor Hemlata Bagla, Vice Chancellor HSNC Mumbai, HSNC board members or the trustees, Mr. Anil Harish, Mr. Kishu Mansukhani, Mr. Maya Shahani, Mr. Lal Chelaram, Secretary Professor Dinesh Panchwani, Conference Chair Dr. Bagla, Principal BTTC Mumbai, for the apt selection of the theme for the international conference. I thank conference committee members, Dr. Mandeep Kochar, Dr. Priya Pillai, Dr. Neeru O. Verma, Dr. Raju O. Telraja, Mrs. Reshma Piramal, Mrs. Neha Bhatia, Mrs. Mona Sarvai, for providing me an opportunity to be the part of this prestigious event. The conference is very well thought, very well planned, very well executed, which mirrors the high work quality always displayed by BTTC Mumbai in all the ventures. As far as today's conference is concerned, it is evident that we are passing through transition period. The perspective of a person with narrow self-interest is always different from that of a person who takes into account the interest of other persons. Components of C learning will no doubt prepare an individual to be more compassionate, more considerate, more informed, and sensible and sensitive towards the problems of his or her counterparts. It will prepare the human beings for it contributes to the well-being of their own as well as the well-being of others. This will help us to remain humane in the so-called digital, mechanical, and era of artificial intelligence. Once again, I congratulate all the stakeholders of the conference. Thank you all. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Let me now invite our principal, Dr. Bhagwan Rani, sir, to give his impressions on our conference.
It can be said, alone we can do little. Just check the audio.
Yeah, it is.
But fortunately, due to the collaboration with C Learning India, and the response that we have got from all the stakeholders and the well-wishers, I believe that together we could do this. It's not only Bombay Teachers Training College or BTTC family, it is we all together. It's not our success as BTTC family, but it is our success as the citizens of this globe, because this is an international conference. And if you look at the challenges that this education is facing, NEP has come. There's a very reason that through the education system, we have created intellectual devils, but we need a compassionate human beings, gods and goddesses. So I believe that a wonderful tool that has been developed by Emory University based on the philosophy of His Holiness Dalai Lama, which is omnipresent. It's there on the internet. And a lot of literature is available online. It's not like that you can't do it. The only thing is that you need a spark. When you interact with the community, when you participate, and when you see people talking about it, you get inspired and you get the direction, you start working on this. So I believe that BTTC has done this job. And especially, I would like to request or appeal to all the participants who are there online. My colleagues, principals are there, and many more educationists whom I might not be knowing. And my dear colleague, Dr. Rainy Francis, all the way you have come from Pillai College, and I believe that we share the same emotions and philosophy working together. And even Chamber Comprehensive College, we share a common thread of affection, and let us continue, let us take it forward. And especially for the students present over here, I think you must consider this moment as a great opportunity for you to start your journey from today onwards. what has been guided by the experts to you, because they have been there in the field. All those sessions which you have attended were not based on the content that was referred by them. But these people have worked in the field for a significant period of the time and gained insight, and they have experienced the happiness that they had got by doing the community work, by helping the children at the grassroots level. I believe that the way they have got happiness by themselves, we all must work at the grassroots level and help the children to grow as global citizens who shall care for the environment, who shall care for the people in the vicinity. And they should be an asset as an effective citizen of that society. Not taking much of your time, I must thank to my colleagues, Dr. Mandip Kocher, Dr. Rajesh Jha, Dr. Amy Ansari, Dr. Nilu Verma, Dr. Raju Talija. They have been working very, very, very hard. Dr. Manisha Tyagi, Riya, and all other teachers who are not there, and the student volunteers, and the students who was enthusiastically participated in this campaign. And has made it more successful. Minimum, we will organize such wonderful conferences together. And I think we have spoken, but I think now we need to take a first step. So thank you once again for being here, and let us take the pledge that we will work in collaboration. We will work for the betterment of children, welfare of the children, and we will definitely contribute significantly to the cause that has been stated in numerous ways through today's conference. Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you, sir. There are a few comments on the Zoom chat as well. Dr. Sarabjit Kaur, congratulations to the entire family of BTTC, well organized and well managed in blended mode. Kudos to your hard and smart work. Dr. Vitoba Sawant also writes, congratulations to the entire family of BTTC. Thank you. Sering Wongmo has written congratulations and feeling really gratitude for coming up with this enriching program. We really need the compassion and love in every field, and C-learning is such a tool that makes our society a beautiful and free of bias society. Thank you so much to the entire team of Mumbai, C-Learning India, and the guest speakers. Thank you, ma'am. Rupal Thakkar from KJSCED, she has congratulated all at BTTC, right from the announcement of themes till the valedictory, everything has been handled professionally. Thank you, Dr. Rupal. Dr. Pooja Kadam, congratulations to the entire BTTC family. Thank you for conducting the international conference in a hybrid mode and taking up such an interesting and innovative topic. It indeed made me ponder upon C-learning with a different perspectives. Kudos to all the BTTC members. Ms. Mandrika Mitra mentions that she feels proud to present a paper in her own college. Thank you so much for all that love showered on all of us. Towards the end of the conference, quoting one of the dignitaries in the morning, Mr. Ryder, when teachers flourish, students flourish. With this thought in our minds and hearts, we must end this enlightening conference. We have discussed the many parameters of the impact of social, emotional, and ethical learning through various channels of understanding how this curriculum influences life at large. With this, I would like to first of all extend my gratitude and appreciation to our guest for the valedictory section, Dr. Bharti Chibbar. Dr. Chibbar effectively enlightened us about how holistic development is rooted through social, emotional, and ethical integration of learning. It is through emotions where the students totally connect to the learning experiences in its fulfilling form. And as we teacher trainers also abide to connect to the C-learning objectives, socially and ethically, and create a classroom that is more emotional, social, and ethical, secured through the conveyance of all the pedagogies. Thank you so much, Bharti ma'am, for that address. Thank you to our guests, Dr. Rennie Francis and Dr. Sheetal ma'am. Thank you to Dr. Bhagwan Balani sir, our principal and mentor, Vice Principal ma'am, Dr. Mandeep Kochar, to all my dear colleagues and everybody present in this hall, our very own, our dearest students, and all those who are present with us in the online mode as well. This international conference has truly marked to be a great success with the participation of eminent personalities and their experiential anecdotes, turning a classroom into a more holistic and emotionally enriching space. Thank you to everyone. Let us rise for the national anthem.
So we'll sing. We'll sing. Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaya Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Panchanga Sindhu Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Chal Jaladi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Chage Shubha Chishma Ge Gaye Tab Jaya Gatha
Thank you, everyone. I'm ending the meeting.